Welcome to Nutrition by Jules. I'm Jules, bringing you all things wellness for your pregnancy and postpartum journey. Got a mini move Monday for you today. So this is a quick, low intensity, low impact, just talking 10-15 minutes of an exercise routine. Something that's pretty chill to do postpartum or also during pregnancy. And so let's get going. If you want a list of the exercises I'm doing, you can see those in the description if that's easier for you to follow along at a later date. We're going to start down on all fours and do some adductor rock backs. Oh, and also, all we need today is a set of weights, just some dumbbells or water bottles. I've got 2 water bottles here. You also are going to need something to step up on. So I just have 2 weight plates that I stacked. It's not crazy high, so you can have something low. Maybe you have a box or bench or a chair. As long as it's steady and sturdy, then you're good to go. Yeah, and the height totally depends on what's available to you. Right, we're back to our adductor rec backs. So I'm in all fours, starting with a nice activated core, so I'm not just dumping down. My shoulders are active, my lower abs are on. I'm gonna stick a leg out to the side, and I'm actually doing externally rotated adductor rock back. So I want my toe up. Ooh, yeah, that's gonna turn that on right there. And then we're just gonna rock our hips back and forth, keeping that toe up in the air. So we feel that nice stretch out of our hamstrings and our adductors and our hips in general. Staying active in those shoulders and active in that core. Rock and back and forth for 8 to 10 rocks. Maybe another one here for me. And then we go to the other side. I can show you here from the front. Again, check in, make sure everything's nice and active. And then my leg goes out, foot goes up, and rock. I'm doing these as an exhale breath to make sure my core stays nice and engaged as I'm rocking and stretching that hip out. And one more. Awesome. Then from here, put my toes all the way back. Make sure I don't kick my bike. Lower all the way to the ground. Very clean floor I have here in my garage. We're going to do a couple of Cobra stretches. Kind of like a Cobra push-up, actually. So on the floor, my elbows are tucked into my sides. I'm going to squeeze my glutes, push the tops of my feet into the floor, lightly lift up, pushing away from the ground, going as far up as I am comfortable. If you want to put your hands farther out, it's going to take a little bit less of a bend in your back. If you put your hands closer to your chest, you're going to be a little bit higher. Get a little bit higher and have a little bit more bend in your back. But let those hips hang. Hold for a second and relax. Up, hold, and back down, keeping those elbows tight the whole time. If you want to see this from the side, again, my feet, tops of my feet are flattened to the ground, shoulders are back and down, squeezing my glutes, lifting up. So here's a little mini Cobra. Just stretching those back, stretching that back out. Also getting a little heat going to your triceps. Here this morning or afternoon or whenever you're doing this. So yeah, 6 to 8 of those little Cobras. And then we're going into a slow mountain climber. We're going to do this elevated, if I have the space to bring out my elevation around my step-up box here. Oh yeah. Okay. So elevated, you could go higher. So here I'll show you actually on my highest elevation. Again, shoulders back and down, away from my ears. I have a nice solid plank position. I'm on my toes. Then bring a knee up, keeping my back flat, pause, and back down. Pushing up on my toes as I bring that knee up. So there's a few with a high elevation. Here's a few with a medium elevation. Again, not scrunching up here, not bending here. Oh, keep it nice and solid in that core. If your core feels great and you want to try these on the ground, again, we're just going nice and slow. We're not doing the jumping mountain climber here. Just a plank with a knee drive, basically. Nice straight line down my back. Yes, for 8 to 10. And then our main set, 2 rounds starting with a gorilla row. So gorilla row is a row, but we're going to be doing it in the squat position. So let's show you here at an angle. My weights are down in front of me with my palms faced in. I'm squatting down as low as I feel comfortable, still a little bend forward, and I'm rowing, alternating, squeezing my elbows up to the sky, squeezing my shoulder blades together, weights coming in to my chest, not up here, and my chest, like down on my rib cage, lower rib cage. So it's not just a bicep curl. I'm really getting a little leg burn. The lower you can get, obviously awesome, do that. But I don't want you to just be here, especially not bending the back, shoulders back and down, nice flat back. And row as such. 12 of those, 6 on each side. You get a little sway, try to keep those hips nice and steady. Awesome. Next, we're going to do side step ups. I'm going to put this back up. Crash, bang, crash, bang. Okay. So again, like I was saying, find something as a height that's manageable for you. I would try not to go to more than 90, whatever that might be for you. If it's lower and it doesn't feel challenging enough, you can always hold weights at your sides if you would like. Otherwise, challenge it with the height if you have no other options. So full foot on the box, step up, other foot on the box, or whatever your option is, and step down. So up, down, up, down. Like so. If you're are holding weights, just make sure our shoulders back and down as always, are having good core and posture. The weight should not be so heavy that we're feeling like we're dragging us in front of us. And we're going to do 10 to 12 of these steps on both sides. And it should go without saying, but full foot on the box is for safety purposes. Same with the height. So don't go so high that you feel like you're falling off of these, right? All right. And turn. Also, if you wanted to challenge this, let's say you don't have weights and maybe this is a little low and you're like, I'm ready to step it up, haha, literally, then you can pick up the speed. That would be another way to challenge this. So adding weight, adding height, or picking up the speed on these. Again, 10 to 12 per side. I'm not counting, true to form. All right, and then we're gonna get to the ground. We're gonna do a bridge hold tricep extension. So ideally you're gonna have smaller dumbbells than you did when you're doing your step ups or your gorilla rows, if you use them for step ups. If you don't, you can just use a single. Ideally you'll have lighter double, but if you need to, you can use a single. I'll show you both of these here. So on our backs, tickle my third lesson. Knees are up. Weights are going to be here like a floor press position. I'm going to tuck my pelvis until my lower back's on the ground. Lift my hips up in the air. Squeeze my glutes. Push my knees together. They're not actually going to touch, but squeeze them in so I'm not splaying out. And hold that bridge position. Then push my arms out straight over my head. This is a 3-part move here. So I'm going to bend my elbows, noting that my shoulder's never moving. So I'm not dropping my elbows down. I'm just bending my elbows, tap, and extend. Woo. Hit my step up. Realign. Shoulders are back. Oh, glutes and abs are on. Tap, tap, straight up overhead. Elbows are staying in. I'm not letting them come out. I'm not letting them drop down. Again, if I'm doing this with one dumbbell, because that's all I have, holding it straight over, just make sure you don't bang yourself in the head as you come down. Bend your elbows, tap, full extension. Bend, tap, extension. So still 3 parts. Bend here until you feel like you're going to crush your head. Tap back, explode back to center. 10 to 12 of these. Really feeling that nice little burn in our extension, in our triceps as we extend. And then you can lower yourself down to the ground, roll over to your side, but we're actually going to stay on the ground for our 4th move today. We're going to do a boat hold. or kind of like a V sit. You're going to start in a V and then go to your boat. So here's my V. The boat is my arms out, picking up my legs. I can straighten my legs if I want to for a little more challenge, keep them bent, drop down a little lower for a little more challenge, or just keep those heels on the ground. Perfectly fine. Any variation of that, depending on how your core is feeling. So I'm just going to go right here. I'm going to flip my palms over, and I'm going to pump my arms, shoulders back, down, away from my ears. Breathing out as I pump my arms. Gonna go for 15 to 20. At about this pace, or whatever your core can handle. You can grab your legs, sit yourself back up. The most important thing to remember is try to keep your back flat during that so we don't get any weird bending pressure on that lower back. All right, round number 2. Back to those gorilla rows. So I'm gonna get my weight. I'm gonna set up a little bit wider than my shoulder width. Drop down my hips, push those knees out, nice flat back. Row into my rib cage, lower rib cage. Well, I'm down a little. Keep those hips low. And beautiful. Don't know how many that was. 10 to 12 is great. Total. If you have lighter weights, go ahead and go a little faster, do more reps. And if you have heavier weights, you can slow it down, do a few less. Again, same with these step ups, right? So if we have a higher box, we might not want to hold weights. If we have a lower box and we want to challenge ourselves, we can hold those weights. Feet all the way up on. Speed is up to you, depending on how you're feeling. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and switch. I'm showing you 10. You can do more if you want. Making sure these weights aren't pulling me forward at all. Keeping those shoulders back. Keeping those weights steady. And I stopped counting. Oh well. Okay, back down on the ground. Get there gracefully. Make sure I'm not going to hit my step up again. All right, so knees are up. Tilt the pelvis. You see that? Squeeze the glutes, raise up. Shimmy my shoulders down. Everything's nice and tight through here. Grab those light kettlebells or the single. That's what you have. Straight up overhead. Bend the elbows. Weights come to your shoulder. Tap the ground. Full extend. Waist to shoulder. Tap the ground. Full extend. Power drive up. So you can go nice and slow. Control down. Power drive up. Oop, those hips up. Yes. Oh, and roll my bridge down. Weights can go to the side. And gracefully make my way up for my boat hold. Show you these at an angle. Shoulders back. Here's my V. Arms out. Oh, pick up my feet. I can straighten one or the other if I wanted to challenge it. Oh, making sure I just keep that back nice and flat. Core is engaged. Flip those palms over. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, yes. Awesome. Thank you for joining me today. Hope that felt good moving your body. If you like what I'm doing, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.